Om Sai Ram and welcome to episode 20 of Sai Lens. Have you ever really wondered if Swami is listening to your prayers? Well, as our Divine Mother and Father, He is always listening and answers our prayers at the right time. In this episode, our brothers and sisters from around the globe talk about just that. That no matter how small, insignificant, or even funny their prayers may be, Swami is always listening.
Una de las experiencias que quiero compartirles es una que se da constantemente, cuando tengo actividades en la organización y me chocan con actividades de la universidad. Es aquí cuando debo tomar una decisión y le dejo las cosas a Swami. Hago el Gayatri y me voy con la fe y esperanza de que Él me ayudará. Cuando regreso, esas actividades se han postergado y todo eso a la gracia de Swami y a su bondad.
As bhajans are finishing in a darshan session, I see the prasad start to be given out. I am in the far back of the hall, and I have a medical restriction where I can't eat sugar, so I feel very frustrated because I love prasad. And I think, I hate it to have to receive it, and I'll have to give it away, and I start complaining in my mind. In that moment, I see the Sevadals stop giving the prasadam, and they leave. And I'm so shocked and confused, but I don't think much about it, although I've never seen that happen, and I had that thought. So, but I don't think much. Next day, I have the same thought as the Sevadals are coming, and the same thing happens again. They leave. They don't give out the prasad to all the people. And in this moment, I'm so shocked. I can't believe it. I'm like, is Swami responding to what I asked, to what I complained, and my frustration? Third day in bhajans, bhajans is finishing, prasad starts to give out, and it just comes out of my heart, Swami, please give out the prasad, please, I don't mind, I'll get my prasadam, I'll hand it out happily, but please don't take it away from all the rest of the people that can't eat it. And they continued to give it out.
This incident happened in November 2019 as I was leaving Prashanti Nilayam after the evening darshan. As we passed by the beautiful facilities, I thought to myself that the only place that I've not visited was a super specialty hospital. But that same minute, I shrugged away the thought and I reminded myself that Swami has blessed me with a good health, thus I've never had a reason to visit the hospital. As we moved along, I saw this building that somewhat looked like this super specialty hospital, but I wasn't very sure as it was already getting dark. So I asked the driver if this was the hospital, and he said yes, and immediately he turned left and entered the hospital compound. I froze completely, and before I could say anything, he said that take your time, go on, have a look, and the altar is beautiful. He also mentioned that usually cars are not allowed inside, but for some reason nobody stopped us that day. In that excitement, I immediately stepped out of the car and I went inside. As I returned back to the car and I was headed to the airport, I could not stop thinking of how loving and kind our Swami is. When you think that He's not listening to you, He's actually listening to each and every single thing that you think about, even your silliest wishes.
My experience dates back to September 2018. There was a massive storm in Hong Kong and I was very anxious because I thought my entire classroom would have been destroyed or flooded. The next day when I was on my way to work, I was praying to Swami. By the time I got to school and I reached my classroom door, I realized that there was not even a drop of water inside. I know that Swami protected my classroom, unlike the other classrooms, because of the Love Also All poster that I had stuck up inside. I am very grateful to Swami, and his protection has always been with me.
When I was 6, I was in the temple in Puttaparthi and I was praying Swami so intensely that he may send me a little puppy. And the funny thing is that a few years later, he actually sent me a puppy. And this was a marvelous experience because this creature taught me so much about acceptance and unconditional love.
A while ago, I'd been listening to a discourse given by Bhagwan, and a thought came to mind. What actually gives our cells its life and energy? Because essentially, our cells are just different combinations of atoms. 2 minutes later in the discourse, Swami says that atoms derive its energy from electrons and protons. And these electrons and protons are representations of Lord Shiva and Mother Shakti. In this way, Swami answered the question that I just had, or the thought that I just had 2 minutes ago. This reinforces the fact that Swami is aware of our every single thought.
Swami is everything for me. Swami, as a divine parent, always fulfills even the smallest wishes which we have in our heart. To quote an incident, once in puja room, I was looking at Swami's photo and I was expressing my desire that, Swami, except your photo, I don't have any other picture of yours, neither a calendar nor any diary or a notebook in which your photo is there, which I can use daily. In this way, I just expressed my feeling. I completely forgot about this. After a couple of weeks, I got a call from one of the Sai Lens. He had something for me. When I went to pick it up, to my surprise, he handed over me a calendar in which Swami's beautiful pictures were there and also a notebook in which Swami's photo was there. That too he had brought from Puttaparthi. This means a lot to me. Thank you so much, Swami, for fulfilling even the smallest wishes of mine.
When I was moving to UK for my further studies, I was a bit worried that I was leaving my family behind and coming to a new country all by myself. I prayed to Swami to take care of me and help me through this. The first day we landed in Coventry, my dad called a Sai devotee and he confirmed that they were having bhajans on the same day. He even offered to come pick us up from the hotel and drive us there. That day, I even got to sing for my Bhagavan. Since then, I've been able to attend all my Sai activities as if I was still back home. Swami gave me a family here, even though I had no one. He took care of me like a loving mother and father, and is still there with me.
నాకు మీకు డైరెక్ట్ కనెక్షన్ ఉంటుండది.
There's direct connection between you and Bhagavan.
మన సన్నిహిత సంబంధ బాంధవ్యం ఎవరు తెంచడానికి వీలు కాదు.
None can break this permanent, intimate, connecting link.
ఎక్కడికన్నా పోండి.
You may go
ఎక్కడ చూసిన ఒక్కడి సాయి మక్కువై ఉన్నాడు.
You may see here or there, anywhere, only one Sai is there.
నీ గ్రామం పోయినట్లను ఎక్కడ పోయి నీ ఉద్యోగం చేసినా నీ వెంటనే జంటనే ఇంటనే ఉంటాను.
You may go to any village, you may take up a job anywhere, but Bhagavan is always with you.
ఆ భావాన్ని మాత్రం మీరు భద్రంగా చేసుకోండి.
Treasure that feeling, that thought.
నా వెంటనే ఉన్నాడు,
Swami is with me.
అనేటువంటి భావాన్ని దృఢం చేసుకోండి.
Strengthen that thought more and more.
ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా మీ నీడ వస్తుండదు కదా.
Your shadow follows you wherever you go.
నీడనే
Bhagavan is your shadow.
నాట్ షాడో, నీలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక దీన్ని నిరూపిస్తూ ఉంటాడు.
Not merely shadow, he is indweller, he is in you.
కనుక I am you, you are mine.
Oh, Swami says, I am you and you are mine.
ఈ రెండు సంబంధాన్ని భద్రంగా పెంచుకోండి.
Treasure this feeling more and more, strengthen this.